Well, good morning. After a little bit of coffee this morning, we're going to go do some stuff in the garden, have a little bit of weeding to do. You'll see how easy it is. Welcome back. Okay, while I'm waiting on the grass to dry, we're going to get in the garden and pick us some weeds. If you have a lot of bugs in the garden, you might want to let the ducks loose in there, because they will certainly take care of the bugs. Come on, kids. Just letting you know, haven't done any sweeping since we put the garden in, so it looks a little bit messy, but we're gonna go and pull some weeds. We found another use for the famous red Dixie cup. If you can see this, there is my weed right in the Dixie. Like I have a little bit of grass back on the back side. Let's see if I can't get that. You can see that. That's it. Okay, that's the amount of weeds, and took about 1 minute to do that whole row of purple whole peas. Okay, I'm in the green beans now, the next row, and I do see, look at that big old bad weed right there. I do have some leaf munching going on here. Probably gonna have to get some neem oil out after the blooms are done. Okay, the cantaloupes, they're real small. Look at this. I found weeds where there's supposed to be a post in there, but okay, I'm in the cucumbers. I don't see much for weeds. They shade pretty much most of the weeds out. You do have flowers all in these cucumbers. It's going to be a good one. Oh, there's a little cucumber right there. I don't see no weeds. Nothing in the herbs. Oh, I see something in the peppers. That's it, right there. This one had a couple of little weeds starting there, and we'll get them real quick. By pulling our weeds once a week, the plants that we planted won't have any competition. Hey, looks like we have some small peppers, but I don't see any weeds. This is how easy weeding with this weed barrier fabric is. There's just not a lot of weeds in there. Okra is slow growing until it gets hot, but I still don't see any weeds there. Something is eating this leaf, the okra leaf. I don't really know what it is, but I'm flipping these over looking for, there we go, aphids. Okay, we'll get out the neem oil. Pumpkins are coming up finally. I don't see any weeds. Yeah, I'm looking at the tomatoes. I don't see a lot of weeds. Now, you may think that's a weed, but that's not. That's actually an herb that we planted in between the rows. And look at them little tomatoes coming on down there. Oh, look at this. I think I found a weed in the tomatoes. There we go. Oh, these look really good. No weeds. Tomatoes, I can't see any weeds. Hey, we're looking at the tomatoes. I don't see any weeds, and I don't really see any bugs. I hear about people getting tomato worms, but I haven't had any yet. Looks like we got some little tomatoes here. I don't know if you can see that. I may not be pointing it there, but I did see a weed down here, and I'm gonna pull them. If you can see it, not much. Oop, there's a weed under the tomatoes. Most of the time it keeps it pretty shaded out so you don't get any. That's it. Okay. I don't know if you can see these baby tomatoes, but they are coming on everywhere. Anyway, I'm not seeing a lot of weeds down here. Okay. Oh, there's some more babies. I love to see these little baby tomatoes in here, if you can see those. Look at this. What do we got here? Is that a weed? That's a dang weed. Okay, it's out. It's gone. Okay, we're in the squash and zucchini. We just cut some. Oh, look at that. We may have some weeds. That's a weed. You gotta go, bro. You too. Hang there. We do have, like I said, some zucchini. We just picked some. Get them weeds out of the way. And we have more that's going to be picked here in the next couple of days. see no weeds, but I see lots of blooms. Lots of blooms. And the yellow squash is doing so good. It has got so many babies coming in there. It's going to be eat up with squash. I'm going to have help probably eating all this squash. We got plenty of squash. I don't see no weed. Oh, wait a minute. I saw something. There's one right there. A weed. There it is. And it's gone. This yellow squash is just crazy. It is growing so well, but I don't see no weeds. I've been looking for bugs. I don't see no bugs on this, but I'm sure they're coming. The spaghetti squash. I can see a weed down there. Let's see if I can feel it to pull it. There we go. Oh, I see another one. They'll keep it shaded out pretty much, but spaghetti squash is starting to do pretty good. Oh, we have a small one on here. No, that's a leaf. Hello. Anyway, I expected to see some weeds in the watermelons, but I don't see any. I'm looking for bugs too at the same time. Watermelons, where y'all at? They say we're not coming out yet. Too soon, but no weeds, and I don't see any bugs. It all looks pretty good. Okay, here's a couple of little weeds right there around that baby watermelon right there. This took 1 minute a row to pick all of these weeds. And it's going to take me more time to pick them up and put them in this Dixie cup than it did to pull them. That is what I love about this weed barrier fabric. We purchased these items off of Amazon quite reasonably. These drip line sprinklers, I say sprinklers, they're our water drip lines. Those make it so easy. So time in garden maintenance is actually pretty small. So look at this. That's it. That's it. Now I do have some more plants, but there's not really, much to do yet. The corn is just coming up, and something has pulled some of the corn, and we're actually replanting those that are missing. And I got another pumpkin or two about every 8 feet over here too. More corn, and as you can see, it's still coming up. So I don't want to. There's one weed in there. I'm going to leave it so I can get the rest of this corn up without disturbing the seeds that I've got. This was our old garden bed, and as you can see, there's plenty of weeds in there, but the chickens, they keep everything pretty scratched up, okay? And we'll cover this with that cloth before we replant over here. And of course, we have put in from the hoop houses all the bedding and all the manure from the chickens and ducks, so it'll be nice. We've got blackberries coming up. There's a tree I'm going to have to cut out of here. Birds plant those for me. I appreciate it. And we got lots of blackberries if the chickens will leave them alone. Now, where we've got the weed barrier cloth runs out, I'll have some weeds in here. But that's marigolds and sunflower seeds, those big, gigantic sunflower seeds. We tried to plant them between every other plant, but as you can see, not all of them came up. So we'll have to replant some of those also. And there will be some weeding to do in here as well. But for the most part, it's not bad right now. This is all the weeds that we got for 6 rows of plants. And it took, I'm not kidding, a minute per row. Can you spare just 6 minutes a week? If you like our videos, hit subscribe and like. And as always, God bless.